City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down, yeah.
I was born in the city, I was raised on its edges. My pop worked his life when it's complex. I found love in its center. If I could live here forever, think it'd be for the better. I love the weather, even though it's fog 24/7. I love the people, this is city. I met all my best friends, and I wanna thank every brick. I wanna thank every entrance to every building that I step in this city of mine. Oh, you most my best moments in life. See, I fell in love for the first time in Golden Gate Park. I saw my first rap show at Great American Hall. I used to beg my homies for a ride across the bridge to goof off and spend the whole damn day doing whatever we want. Keith drove us down to Ike's place while we'd roll up a blunt, and me and Jack would get stoney, walk around and get lost. Don't think I'll ever truly pay back all I was lucky to get just by walking through the city. No, I'm a small part of this.
City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.
I never really had a place to call my own, so I travel and I roam till I find that. But I'm full of adventure, so I wander and I venture, and it's safe to say that really I don't mind that. I book a flight to try to figure where my mind's at, a spot where I don't spend no money, just some time at. I mix and mingle with the people till I learn a little. I brought some weed and baby, maybe we could burn a little. She said you're funny, I said no, I'm Xavier, then I left. Sun shining, birds chirping, let me take a breath. I'm headed to the city where my chance to make it best. Where people like to give a little, then you take the rest. I'm hoping one day maybe I can find a place to rest. I fell in love with life and wonder where it take me next. I like the hustle and bustle, I fell in love with the fashion. I feel the pulse of the city, it's moving me like a passion, and it's mine.
How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine. How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. Me and my hometown, baby, we go way back. All the situations, circumstances, still we don't mind. Steady going on, I dance around the street lights. Hey, I know every street sign, hanging around the block. Like if you are my friend, then you are welcome any moment. Yeah. City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.
Aloha, peoples. What's happening? All right, we're trying to do some things here. Good morning. Welcome to the showground. As you can see, I'm still not in my home selection. And of course, the funniest thing is I spent all of this time setting up, and because it was overcast, and now the sun decided to come out and just jack up everything. Okay, so we're just gonna play hyper blown out at the moment because I really don't want to muck with the camera doing this here. So yeah. So this is what happened. Keels. Keely got the jokes. She's funny. She's out here. All right, gang. So we're gonna dive in today. This is kind of relaxed session. It's a Q&A. Yes, Jackie's still in the VA. Leaving this weekend to head up to the Great North in order to do my next conference, which is, strangely enough, it starts on my birthday, which is weird because that means I got to work instead of party this go around. All right, stop messing with stuff. All right. Anyway, so if you have questions or whatever you want to pop them through, just go ahead and do so. I am right next to Langley Air Force Base. You know what? I'm not going to mess with that. Just leave it alone. Just be blown out today. It's not that big a deal. What's a little bit of like blown out lighting between friends? You know what I'm saying? You guys are here for the content. We're going to stop playing with the lights. Man, no chilling out, Braids. If you got a question, let it out. It's actually, this is a funny question, JFK. I said good morning because it's habitual, but it's actually freaking 2 o'clock in the afternoon here because I'm on East Coast time. So it's funny that you say that because, yeah, my brain just does that automatically. 500 plus streams in, you just say what you say. All right. I'm got a question from Brady. I'm going to go ahead and lock that in real quick so we can get here and started. Not that kind of blowout, Keely. I don't have hair. So let's go down and we'll start with the questions. I got Brady's question here, so we'll go ahead and start with that. But if you have questions, go ahead and drop a Q, and then I will throw you an A. Yeah, something of that nature. The funny thing, last stream, like a little bit ago, I had a stream with Katie and I, and so I made coffee so that I could have it for the stream, and I forgot. And so now it's iced coffee. It's still good. It's still good. Okay, so Brady's question is audio levels. Audio levels, getting low levels from the RCP2 and Ecamm. How do I increase the gain coming from the RCP2? Gain is already at 100. First of all, your gain at Ecamm should never be at 100. Your gain at Ecamm should be at 80. And then your output gain coming out of your RCP2 is just going to be based on the master USB out. So the way I have, depends on what microphone you're using, but the way I have mine set up normally, and again, everyone's room is going to be different. I have my SM7B on channel 1, and I believe I have the gain set at like 55. And at Unity at 55, Unity meaning the thicker white line on the RCP2, at Unity at 55 on the SM7B in my particular studio gives me basically touching yellow bubble set at 80 on Ecamm Live. So that's basically how I got mine set up. Yours might be different. Maybe you talk quieter or whatever. But it also, you got to remember, if you have your microphone further back, like you're dropping heavy levels of decibel drip just by every inch, right? So every inch away from the fulcrum, yes, that's a word, aka the sweet spot of the microphone, every inch you are away from that sweet spot, you probably drop somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 12 dB. And you got people that want their microphone halfway across the room. So, maybe the best way to get gain is put the mic closer to your face, because on an SM7B, which I'm pretty sure you have, you should be no more than about 4 inches away from your face. Everything after that is just increasing the levels of roll off. It's not much different from light beams. There's a sweet spot for light, and then people have a tendency to try to put their lights all the way across the room and wonder why they're not bright. Your light doesn't have, well, technically it does have infinite fall off, but its effective range is going to be probably shorter than you think. And here come the clouds again. All right, never mind. Yes, closer than the 808. You're in Philly, right, Jax? No, I have not counted any bugs with the Insta360 yet. I actually am deeply in love with this camera for what it does and its powerfulness, its capabilities, how good it works. So far, so good. This is the Insta360 cam over here. It has been pretty much fan-glorious. Here, let me open up the Insta360 controller so that I can mess with it. I am very, very, very impressed by this, because webcams in general tend to suck. And here's the funniest thing about it to me is that we always said that what would be good? Okay, right now with Ecamm Live running streaming in 4K, it definitely doesn't like me playing with this camera. It says the camera is being used by another application, so I can't do that. Yeah, some apps will do that. Once you go live, as a way to protect the camera, it won't allow you to mess with the camera, which is cool. One of the things that I've always said is somebody should have taken a DJI Pocket camera and stuck it on the gimbal and made it available for, a webcam. And DJI didn't do it. They've had the Osmo Pocket since 2018, I think, maybe 2019. Anyway, they had like 3, almost 4 years to like do it, and they did it. And Insta360 goes, well, if y'all ain't gonna do it, we're gonna do it. So they basically took what is an Osmo Pocket with the slightly bigger lens and bigger sensor and turned it into a camera. And for $299, it's freaking glorious. It's absolutely glorious. I think it's dope. Anyway, good question coming in from Caroline. Let me hit it with one of these. Let me hit her with one of these. Here's this and this. There you go. Keely says, where'd she go? Is there a length limit for USB AC lightning cables if you want to hardwire my phone as a second camera? Why, yes, there is. The length limit is roughly 15 feet. I think it's 16 to be specific, but we won't get to that. However, there is such thing as an active cable. Let me pull up your browse over here. And then USB CATIVE USB-C active cable. I like, when it comes to active cables, I like what that brand is called, Tether Tools. But Tether Tools cables ain't exactly the cheapest. So let's come over here and let's see if you guys can see what I see. Do you see what I see? A star cracking through the night. Crikey. Okay, so here's an active cable. And then this one happens to be 16.4 feet, which is crazy balls. You can get active cables pretty much like this is 26.5 feet, right? Same thing with this USB 3.1. This one happens to be a 10-footer. But what an active cable will do is, in general, give you a little bit more bass. This one is actually a female to male, so you can just plug your regular cable after this active cable. But yeah, the brand that I tend to like is Tether Tools. There's another brand called 9 some odd thingy. Hold on. Let's go to the old Zon of Amma and see if they have it on here. Active cable. Let's just see. Let's make it just USB-C active cable. Of course, it's not here. But yeah, here you go. Here's a Garrett. This is a pretty cool company. Garrett makes decent stuff. Here's another active cable here. Man, come on now. Me say click the ding button, we. What you doing? Where you going? There you go. 50 feet active cable, $69. This should keep you covered for things like PlayStations or webcams or cameras. What the brand that I use is this, TETHER-TOLS, because these ones are made for photography and they are dope. But yes, this is whenever you see in a video where the photographer has the monitor set up and then they're taking the pictures and reviewing it on the monitor right away, the director of photography or the art director is watching, you'll normally see this orange cable. That is the old Tether Tools, and these guys are the best. And I cannot remember what the heck the name of their competitor is, but it's 9 something. Here it is. IQ Wire is the master of the company, but it's called 9 something. Anyway, this one would also do it too. So it's good to see that there's a lot more active brands out than normally. Used to be like 2, but now there's more than that. So yeah, just grab an active cable, Keels, and you shall be golden sauce. Good to go. Let's do this. Chicken. So, to Keely's question again, is there a limit length for USB AC/lightning cables if I want to hardwire my iPhone as a second camera? Yes, it's roughly 15-16 feet unless you're using an active cable, which would give you a boost. And if you just get an active USB-A, let's put it this way, an active USB-A 3.1 extension cable, female to male, that will probably give you the most adaptability so that you can plug whatever cable you want into the end of it, because you're just going to end up with the standard issue USB-A slot, in which case you can use adapters to adjust accordingly. So my choice would probably be a female USB-A connector on one end and a male USB-C connector on the other. That would probably be my best, or a female to male USB-C cable of whatever length you want, and then you can just add your cable that you're going to use, your standard cable, outwards. So that would be my two choices. And again, I would look at Tether Tools or IQ Wire or some of the more prominent brands. Bingo. Okay, timestamp that, Paul. I can use that for real. Yes. Okay, so Brady, if you're using the same as me, then just go into your Rodecaster Pro 2 number 1, make sure that you have it set for the SM7B, and then put the gain at around 55 and see what you get. See if it stays inside the gate, and then you'll be good to go. Could Ecamm, do I have an entire thing? First of all, I've done this class every Friday for 96 weeks solid, so it already exists. Number 2, we have the versions done by Gladney Diana, which are on the Ecamm page, and there's another ones. Yeah. Anyway, they already exist. They exist out there in droves. Boom, boom, boom. I'm assuming. And there is no Ecamm newbies. Whatever you learn on your first day, if you came to my demo and all you did was do what I do in the demo, you're now a full-fledged expert. It's the easiest program in the world that people complicate out of their own fears and freakouts. But the program is super simple. I mean, it's so simple, it's almost hilarious that I get paid to go around the country and teach people how to use something. I would say Ecamm is about as difficult as making ice. That's about it. Seriously. I was going to buy an A7 II. Nope, don't get an A7 II. At this point in time, an A7 II is really, really old. So I wouldn't do that. Let's see. Just checking. Mr. Michael, good to see you here. Sorry, I'm always just making up random crazy thing like that. We actually have a playlist that is exactly labeled. Anyway, that's that stream. This is my stream. Two different things. Never mind. We'll save that for Fridays. But we do have a list that's already like there. That's boom. Yo, what's up, Indy in the building? Dun, 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 dun. All right, Todd comes in. My man Todd, beginning to look a lot like Christmas Clatter. I use 2 Danzine D50s, and there's a shadow cast on the back wall by the Christmas tree. This is only funny because only Todd would have this question. Sorry, Todd, I'm coming back. The Christmas tree thing threw me off, but I should have been ready. Okay, it says, I'm thinking I'll light the back wall from the floor before I call Clark Griswold. Griswold, oh my God, yes. It's exactly the problem. Okay, so as you can see here, first of all, the best thing I can tell anyone, if possible, give yourself some distance. Let me turn around. I'm right here. And see how you can see, if you're sitting this close, you're getting to cast the shadow, right? As I move my hand forward, the shadow is going, gone. Now you can see a little bit. Wait, I need to move it over here. Okay, now it's gone, right? Now you see no more wiggly on the wall. If I move my hand back, it's right there. So let's get a distance check on that using a common American hanger. This, my friends, is a common American hanger. I don't have a ruler with me, but brain cells work like a champ. Okay, so sticking this hanger right here. Okay, we're doing things. Moving my hand back, go with the shadow, and then come forward, and right about there it's gone. Sticking this hanger right there. I am this much from a common American hanger, lined up against a MacBook Air, about an inch and a half past the width of a MacBook Air is the only space you need between you and the wall to eat shadows. And the minute you do that, you have more than enough space to never worry about a shadow. Unfortunately, if you go back to India's hostage video days, she used to be sitting right up against the back, right? But now she's balling out with her bachelor crib. The wall is far behind her, so you don't see those weird shadows and stuff like that. So 2 ways to defeat that. Do I have it down here still? Maybe I do. Hold on, Todd. 1 second. Okay. First way to defeat those shadows is light behind the shadows. And let's up this light. Okay, I don't want it on red. I want it on white. All right, so wrong color temperature, but we're going to ignore that for now. So the first way to defeat this shadow, I'm going to have a hard time doing this. Light behind the shadow. Okay, of course that's way too hot, but at this close, without the diffuser on there, I'm not going to be able to dumb it down specifically. But I can defeat the shadow by lighting behind the shadow. See, now there's no shadow. It's just a hot light, right? But if I put my hand here, there's no shadow. Here, it creates a shadow. So yes, the right answer is to backlight it. It's the reason why we always put hair lights in our regular studio, which will do nothing but this. And let me set this color temperature closer to where it should be. Yeah, so you have a hair light like this, and it's pointing down. And that alone separates you from the background because it's kind of lighting your back. You see what I'm saying? And you see how it just changes a whole difference? So I can backfill my face just by putting this here, and this temperature, which camera, and I'm gonna high, so I'd wrong. I gotta go to and put it here on my sunlight, and the fake light hitting this side of the face are almost the same. And you just push that back, and you get a nice little hair light, and that separates you from the background, and it gives you some distance. So yes, Todd, the best way to do it is to diffuse heavily diffused light. This is undiffused, so it's a little harsh, but a heavily diffused light right behind you will kill any of those unnecessary shadows. And it's not, I mean, it's hard to have a person to be your analog, but you have teenagers, so put one of them in your chair while you would do the adjustments. That's what you do. Good answer. I heard this just got recognition for adding a background and a camera with the border. Super simple. Yes. Yeah, super simple. They're not designed for streaming. They're not made for that. Okay, so let's put this like this. Tyler, good question. Tyler says, can you explain why you don't recommend MacBook Airs for streaming? MacBook Airs are sprinters. They are really quick. They're super fast in short, quick bursts. Whereas a desktop-oriented computer, or even actually, let's fix that even better. A desktop computer would be more like a power lifter, but it can carry heavy loads for long times. If you're thinking of like a truck or a vehicle, it's like an 18-wheeler. It can be fully loaded and take that load clean across the country and have no issues at all. A MacBook Pro would be like a pickup truck. It can take a pretty good size load, Ford F-150, and handle it all the way across the country. But a MacBook Air is a Porsche Cayman. It's ridiculously fast, but after it got 2 people in it, it becomes slow. Right? So the way that processor is designed, it's not designed for streaming. People think because a computer is a computer, it's a computer, so it's a computer. No, that is not how the math calculates. There are computers designed for road warriors. What do road warriors do? Emails, spreadsheets, keynote presentations, buy crap from Amazon, talk smack on Facebook. That's what road warriors do. They need to get into Salesforce. They need to book plane tickets and hotels. They need to, take a class on ancient Mesopotamian underwater basket weaving, the centrifugal forces of toilet flushing below the equator in Australia as opposed to the northern hemisphere, things like that. They're not designed for editing photos, anything that takes long, heavy processor hits. All of that being said, right now, my MacBook Air 2 is a beast, and it probably can handle it. But am I willing to take that trust that when it decides to thermal lock, that I will be streaming? No. So I have this MacBook Air right here, and it's quick. It's fast as nut. I mean, this joint is slicker than lard on the brass doorknob, but I am not going to trust it to my streaming. So I packed my Mac Mini. Of the 2 computers, Mac Mini or the MacBook Air, which one you think is heavier? I'm going to say the Air. I got to double check that thought, but I'm pretty sure the Air is heavier than the Mac Mini. So the Mac Mini and this simple display right here is an easy lift, man. It's not that hard. And besides, the Air in the screen is cheaper than this Mini. The Mini in the screen is cheaper than this MacBook Air. Mini is $600. The screen is $200. That's 800 bones, right? You can't get nothing for 800 bones that can stream this good. So yeah, it's easy. I don't know why everybody keep wanting to get the other computer, but nah. And as far as carrying them, it's the same thing. Like, it's the same thing. You got to carry a keyboard. Okay, I'll add you that. But look how big. Look at this keyboard, dude. This keyboard don't weigh nothing. So I don't know. People be tripping. You got to get people out of their psychologicals and get into some factual thinking. And all of this will fit in a Pelican case, which is carry-on capable. If you want to check it in, you can check it in, because a Pelican case, you could throw that sucker from one side of the airport to another and everything is golden. And I don't have Brady's pictures on me, but Brady just built a mobile streaming setup in the Pelican case using a YOLO box. So I'm just saying, it'll work. Let's see. Yes, it is really good with the desktop picture. To me, not so much. The desktop picture does have a weird lengthening of your phalanges and whatnot. But yeah. Jackie, for the 18th time, this exactly already exists. Let me go get it since everybody keep playing in these streets. It already exists. What you're asking for has existed for nearly a year and a half plus. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And why y'all keep asking me econ questions on my stream? This is my stream. I'm not at work right now. None of this is hard. Come right over here, and then we just look inside the brain cells. And then it's actually in the, what do you call that thing? Why can't I see? I'm the blind person now. It's in the, oh, here it is. There it is. Sorry. Don't play that. Look, entire thing right here, the nuts. What's the difference between how to set up your camera? These are all really, really short videos. All the way down. This entire playlist right here, 20 videos deep, is what you're looking for. So that is the answer. Let's click that and then grab that and then go like that. And again, it shouldn't take, everybody's like, by the time you watch all of these videos, right, versus just watch one demo, you will learn it faster in the one demo because it'll take you an hour tops in the story. This is going to take you more than that. But anyway, if that's what you like, if that's what pops your socks, this playlist already exists, has existed for a minute. But you already know how to use Ecamm, so why are you asking this question? I'm just curious. Boom. Shellac like boom. There it is. See, Dave is the man. Look, I came out here and I didn't bring mine with me, so I just went to BJ's. BJ's is like Costco, but cooler maybe. I don't know. I just went to BJ's and snatched another one. Bro, for the Road Warrior, this is the best dang mouse in the business. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. Man, I am anti-Tesla. Let me just go ahead and throw this out for anybody that wants to know. I'm going to just go ahead and say this. As a e-car driver for almost 10 years, I am super anti-Tesla. So if they make the rest of their products the way they make their cars, the rest of their products suck too. Everybody going to fight me on this. Teslas are brilliant technologically, but as far as human, comfort and creature control, they're horrible. Like I can look at a Tesla and show you where the doors don't line up. It won't pass the marble test. So I just tend to block. They're on the block word list of my brain cells. Yeah, so that's it. Absolutely a fan of content calendars. I guess it just depends. The one advantage of a content calendar is people know what they're looking for, and you will create sort of in a pattern. The disadvantage of a content calendar is they tend to get thrown for a loop when something comes up that was unexpected. So even though this is my stream and not the Ecamm stream, at the company, we do have a content calendar. We got everything planned out for the next 6 months. And then Ken and Glenn will say, hey, I know, let's just roll out 4.0 coming up. And we got to readjust the entire content calendar to try to fit in a brand new launch of the software, because that happens when it happens. That doesn't really have a date because development cycles normally get new enhancements. Apple dropped a new machine. Facebook changed the entire way pages work last week. You know what I mean? So we could have been halfway through our development cycle on multi-streaming for Facebook, and literally last week, Monday, effective yesterday, Facebook completely changes the way everything works. So what happens with your calendar if you don't have that flexibility? So a calendar is dope, but you still got to be able to be flexible, because like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a game plan until they get punched in the face. So game plan, but then punch in the face. What are your thoughts on the series within the YouTube? Okay, if you are at the point where you feel like you need, Keely, hold your ears. If you're at the point where you feel like you need to make a different channel, you are already effing up. I'm going to let that marinate for a second. If you're at the point where you think you need a different channel, you're already messing up. Your brain is trying to do too much at one time. You need to do one thing and one thing only. Trust me on this. Everyone's going to tell you different stories. Everybody got these feelings and these thoughts and mess. Yo, I effed it up for 14 and a half, almost 15 years. And then I decided to stick to one thing. Now I got time for one song and one song only. Yes, once you settle down on the one thing, it will adjust your brain and everything will work so much better. So if you're at the point where you got to make two channels, you're probably already screwing yourself up and you just don't even realize it. I would say double down and focus heavier on the one thing that you're already creating as opposed to creating another thing that's going to just, mess up your brain cells and hurt your face, probably hurt your channel. I'm just throwing it out there. You can do with that what you will. Okay, that being said, series in your channel, let's back this up some more because I think this has to be said over and over again because obviously people either missed it the last 80,000 times I said it or it still hasn't sunk in. All right, as a matter of fact, before I say this, let me hit this button real quick because I meant to do this and for some reason it didn't go. So let me hit it. Okay. And I'm going to come back up here and then I'm going to mark where I'm at. Okay, there's Tyler, there's Gretchen. And I'm going to ask my community, are you guys ready? Everyone in the LGL community, whose channel is it? Is it your channel or their channel? I'll wait. I'll drink some coffee while you guys answer that. Whose channel is the channel? It might have your name on it, but whose channel is it? Your channel or their channel? Listen to that. It's time for a refreshing beverage. Yes, Eileen with the correct answer. It's their channel. Actually, everybody except Keely came through with the right answer. Your channel don't belong to you. Your channel belongs to your community. So you wanting to do something that they did not sign up for is selfish, and you probably don't want to do that unless you get buy-in and permission from your people first. So for instance, if I all of a sudden decided I wanted to teach y'all my barbecue recipes and whatnot on this channel, that would be a straight dick move. If I all of a sudden started waxing rhapsodically about ancient Japanese literature when you guys came here for content creation help, that's selfish. I know it. That's my subject, man. That's my So yeah, I can break down into full-fledged, lengthy conversations about Japanese history and the various shogunates and talk about the Oda clan, versus the Taira clan. And then y'all will be like, what, man? I came here to find out how to make my Rodecaster Pro sound good inside of Ecamm. So if you're going to do a series, I would make sure you have full permission from your community first. Make sure you have full buy-in from your community first. Make sure that they're down with it. If the series is related, like I did just recently kind of sort of do a series about Instagram Reels because I was doing an experiment. And so I went back to back streams about that, right? There'll be a moment in time where, after Leaped into Podcasting is over, you'll see like 5 or 6 streams about Final Cut Pro in a row. I know my community's cool with that, right? I've had these conversations with them. So that's fine. But I wouldn't just do a 180. Like, don't ADD your people like that. And if you're thinking about starting another channel, I would say tread lightly, right? Some people have the bandwidth and the system capabilities to fully rock 2, 3, 4 channels. Majority of new creators do not, right? And the reason why I told Keely to hold her ears, because she did take a hard pivot, but being an attorney, she had the ability to fully process both sides of the case, voir dire the witnesses, do counter conversations, and then closing arguments, and then have a verdict that, yes, I can do 2 channels at the same time about 2 completely different subjects. But her level of personal awareness and personal analysis as her coach, I was able to say, yeah, you could do that, but don't go telling everybody else that they can do that, because then I got to un-F their brains when they melt. So, yeah, good question. Fantastic question. Like, it is a good question. And this is where, people are talking about their podcast. Like, should they start a whole new channel for their podcast? I did. Hindsight being 2020, I probably shan't have. I probably should have just kept it right here and just build a playlist accordingly. Anyway, moving on. Oh, you forgot your mouse for this trip. Yeah, man, I did it 2 trips in a row, and that's what I call myself checking the checklist. Hyundai is my long-term bet for being, you know what? So far, they're doing a really, really good job, especially with the new Kia. Hyundai and Kia are the same. Don't let nobody tell you they're different. They're the same. The newest version they got out is pretty sick. They're coming in. All right, let's see. Everybody's there. Everybody's there. Everybody's there. Yeah, Melanie gonna be stubborn. We already had this conversation. I'll let her slide. Oh, I got it. Keely meant hers, as in she is a member of this community, so the channel is hers. Yes, that's okay. Understood. Got it. No, it's not your ownership. This is where businesses screw up, right? Steve always told us that Apple, at that time, Apple computers belong to every one of you. They don't belong to us. We are the stewards of the company, but the company belongs to the user. Steve always told that, which is the reason why it's one of the top 5 companies in the world. The companies that think that way do really, really well. The companies that don't do really, really bad. And right now, one of the things that's causing problem with bigger companies starting to run into brick walls is they're still treating it like theirs, right? I just watched something yesterday about how AT&T is struggling right now because they demanded all their workers come back to the office, and their workers don't want to be at the office. The workers want to keep working at home when they already been proven to be more productive at home. They've had their best sales quarters and stuff with everybody at home, but them being selfish, they want to drag everybody back into the office. And so there's people that's worked there for like 30 years in this interview. She's like, man, I'm really hard thinking about bouncing at 30 years in the company because, again, your company belongs to your customers and to some extent your employees. Southwest Airlines has always called their employees the internal customers, right? So, yeah, it's hard for business folks to wrap their head around. But, yeah, y'all keep doing it the way you want to do it. And I guarantee you 6 months later, you will still be here asking the same questions. But if you learn to let it go, Elsa, and like, I'm going to do what's best for the people. Remember my mantra, YouTube is not a side hustle, it's a side helpful. And you can't possibly be helpful to someone else by always trying to have it your way, Burger King. All right. There you go. That was a complicated answer, but I think it's coming. It's coming. Oh, ancient Japanese barbecue recipes might be fun. Devin Rich. Oh my God. You guys, I'm going to tell you right now, you'll understand Rich a heck of a lot more after you hang out with Rich. It's been the highlight of my years hanging out with Rich. My bike doesn't pedal backwards. There you go. There you go. Oh, thank you. See, Brady tried my experiment, and yeah, that was cool, Brady. Gary, your channel, this was me. I had the Seinfeld channel for going on 14 years, and I got up to this is crazy. I got up to just under 2,000 subs, and then I decided to narrow it down, aka niche. And in the last 2 years, I went from 2,000 to about 100 away from 14,000, just by focusing on a particular thing. It's just the way it is. The decision is still on appeal. Get out of here. Get out of here, Keely. Yeah, there's making PDFs into videos is super, super simple. Making PDFs into video. There was an app for that, and I can't remember what the heck the app's name was, but let me look it up. But there is an app made specifically for that. That's not the name of any of the ones I'm thinking of. Anyway, I can't see anything off the top of my head, but here's what I would do. Take a PDF, open it up into Canva, and then you can use that to generate videos. And what I would do is I would insert recordings of you explaining the various things inside of a PDF, right? So let's look at something real quick. All right, let's use this as an example. I'm just going to click here. I'm going to bring you guys along for the ride. Ride. Take a little trip. There we go. Blood clot lima beam. All right, so here we are. We're going to get the Rodecaster Pro. We're going to go into this user guide and support. We can hit it right here. And then say we're going to go to the Rodecaster Pro, right? And let's say we want to go to the live streaming section. All right, so you can start out here. This is a web page, but PDF's the same thing. So say this is like the first page. You have this on screen, and instead of reading this thing verbatim, you do a quick synopsis, and then you cut back here and you dive deeper, highlight a couple of the points, make sure that everybody knows what's popping. And then you go back to the next scene. Dang it, go away. There you go. And then so you'll scroll down here and you get to this section and you'll talk about setting it up for live streaming. And again, you'll say the key elements of this graphic to pay attention to is that the Rodecaster Pro is coming in through a single USB cable, but you are generating a mix minus by adding the USB 1 as USB communications or USB chat, and that is your mix minus channel, so you know where that's going on. And then you come back here and then you explain it, and then you go to the the next page in the software over here again, and then you go back. And then so yeah, going through a PDF as a video is probably brilliant, but you're just going to mix your commentary along with the video, so that way it's not just boring, because yeah, that's sort of cheating. You know what I mean? And that would work, but that's no different in the PDF. So I would show the page, just highlight the key takeaways. As a matter of fact, use a highlight feature that would be built into your software. Hey, I just noticed something was broken here. Doink. Use a highlight feature that would be built in your software. Like for me, I got this little janky tool right here. I could come in and then do one of these, and that was so bad. That was super bad. Nope, we don't want that one. You want to be more like this. So you can highlight that point and then get your little arrow situation and kind of like, highlight a piece of something that you want them to see. Maybe this is the highlighter, and then choose a different color. Let's come over here and pick yellow and then highlight like that, or highlight like this. Standard issue markup stuff. Standard issue markup stuff. I think that will help that go a long way. Fantastic question, Mr. Paul. Absolutely. Super dope question. Let's see. What I forget? Okay. Gary wanted to know, how do I make a credit scene for closing off my stream? There is 111 different ways to do it. I would say the number one stunner would be Canva. If it was me, I'm just saying. All right, so let's come over here. And then we're going to go to Canva. C-A-N-V-A. Canva. Dun, dun, dun. And then let's go over here and create a new design. And then I'm going to use YouTube thumbnail because that's just the easy one. All right, so we're going to come here. And let's go ahead and kick a color. We're going to call the color purple. Not to be confused with Oprah Winfrey, right? And then I want to say, boom, 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 come in here, grab something simple. You can look at these like this. Seems funny because it's a menu, but it's kind of already set up, right? But I mean, Canva already has this stuff in here, right? There's another good one that you can do. Let me delete this too, make sure. So you can look into Canva and then get some things already sort of made for you. I don't really need that. Here's another cool one. You know what's funny, because I don't be down here playing around in Canva, but it kind of already exists. So if you just look in here, and if you don't want to do that, you can just make it by hand. But I'm actually curious. Let's search the text box and see if it's in here. Nope, they don't have one. Nope. Let's do another one. Organization. Nope. Okay. So anyway, I would just do it by hand, and I would cheat and use something like this. Okay. So I can do host, and then do my name, and then take this column, delete it, right? So if I want it to be a scrolling type ticker, I can make this bigger, find my center point here, start it probably like here, and then take this group, duplicate it. Oop, I missed. Hold down the Option key, drag. So then I'm gonna go here. Can you guys see all of that? All right, so just in Canva, rocking the solid, right? Got my little thing in there. And then I might want to go down one more, just drag another one, and then go right, and then hit this. Can leave that. All right, anyway, so all you need to do is come here and say animate this, and then pick one that's like the simple. Yes, India. Yo. You can't see this screen? But I'm in browser. What? That's so weird, because I'm not in preview.
Nope,
Oh,
nothing.
I guess I was in preview.
Goodbye.
I don't even remember
Bye.
pressing preview. That's whack. All right,
Nothing.
anyway, that's stupid. The point is, it's super simple. You just go to Canva, put it on the slide, select the animation, and knock yourself out. Or even lazier than that, check this out. We're gonna go hit add page, right? We're gonna take this one. Actually, let me cut that one, go to this page, add it, make it big, right? Pick a size, right? We kind of know where it is. Go like that. And then take this one, cut, oi, bombaclat. Take this one, cut that, take this one, put it in the same little window box so you know where it's at, right? Drop it in the middle, do that, hit add page, add the next one. I mean, it's all the same, right? You don't have to, you guys are thinking about this stuff the hard way. So anyway, I could take this, once I find the center, hit that. Actually, the center is easier. All you gotta do is go to position and hit middle, and then you're good. Anyway, so I could take these three and say export this as a video, right? So yeah, like Canva is simple. You don't have to make it difficult, right? You can just say export this as a video, and if you want each individual one to animate, you can do that, right? You can do on both enter and exit, and then go to the next one, same thing, animate, then come over here and pick the same thing, fade on both, enter and exit, and then go down to the last one here and do the same thing, hit that fade on both, enter and exit, go to share, it's 15 seconds long, hit the download, change it to MP4 video, and then download it. And then so now, once it finishes rendering that, you got your credit rolls as a video. Like Canva is the dopest tool in the planet, and you don't have to know how to do anything. Me personally, I'd have done it in Final Cut, but I don't want y'all to be like, I can't use Final Cut, so then don't. Use Canva and just let Canva do the work, right? Like my whole entire intro is Canva, like all day long. So if we come back over to this here, I can take this bad boy, since there's no sound, drop it in here, add as an animated overlay, and then I'll just put it here, and you'll see that there it is. It's basically an end credit roll. I would have made these a lot shorter, but you can just do it just like that. I think the common misconception when it comes to this type of stuff is that a credit roll needs to look like in Star Wars. But if you watch many things on TV, it's just page, 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 meaning it pops up, disappears, pops up, disappears, pops up, disappears. It doesn't have to be that thing. Yeah, what's the difference? It doesn't matter what you type in the credits. You could type full-on Japanese plays in there. It's still the credits. The credits is just a bunch of series of slides you play at the end that give props. So, for instance, if you come over to Buck Nasty channel, right? And let's pull this up right here, and then go into this, and then just pull up one of these. Who's in there? Hey, click off of here. Go here, and then go Buck Nasty. And then take this video right here. Bam. And then go to the end.
Remember when you're recording a video ships? And if you want some more tips and tricks for leveling up your out too. Speaking of helping people out.
All it is a page. That's the same thing. Like he put it all in one single page, but it's there, right? You don't have to get cute with this stuff. Especially if you look all the way down here on the bottom. Look at that guy right there. Yeah. So like, again, it's the same thing. Go to Canva, type them suckers out, export the PNG and throw it in there. Like it don't have to be cute. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be cute. It's so crazy that I don't know how I must have accidentally pressed demo mode because I can't stand preview mode. I never use it. And so somehow I must have accidentally pressed it and sent you guys into the ether region. But well, that's a cool way I think you did it. You guys are silly. You guys are silly. Oh my God. Why? Why? I didn't have you muted, Indy. I just answered you directly on screen. I answered you with the, instead of picking up my phone, I answered you with the computer because it was in my head. And here's the funny thing. You guys all called, and you guys all have the actual Ecamm link. That would have been faster. Anyway, that's funny. That's just being said. So yeah, I think don't underestimate the power of Canva when it comes to things like that. I think a lot of people would have done them in the old, let's see, like again, the Star Wars way, and that's completely unnecessary. It can just be a series of pictures, man, and then go into Keynote for that matter. Anything you have, you can do those end credits right there in Keynote. I don't think matter of fact, I wouldn't go through the hassle of animating them because you're just going to make them long for nothing, and then you're going to need to update it, and every time you update it, you got to re-render a video. So I think a series of photographs that do sort of a slideshow is probably the most gangster way to do it, if anything. I think that's it. I'm looking for something real quick. I'm going to show you because you guys have seen this. Here you go. Look, this is my intro screen right now, and I'm going to do it as an animated overlay. But, ooh, can y'all hear that thunder? I don't hear thunder too often in Hawaii. It does happen. But look, this video is basically my intro screen. This is 100% created in Canva. And, like, it's just a bunch of thumbnails set to animate and set to take up the 3 minutes and 33 seconds that the song is. And the whole thing is just generated in Canva, right? I've been playing a lot more with the Adobe Express. I actually like it better because I'm a diehard Adobe person. But I just tell you Canva because most of you guys can have a free versions of Canva. The free version of Adobe Express maybe isn't as flushed out as the free version of Canva. But if I was going to buy one from the gate right now, it would probably be Adobe Express because I already have Adobe Suite and it's already there. So yeah, speaking of series, Tyler, we will be talking more about Adobe Express in the next couple of weeks so you guys can make a choice. I just think they have a little bit cooler stuff because they are Photoshop. They have that bloodline, that DNA, if you will. Okay, so don't sleep on Canva. That's all I gotta say. That's the easiest way to do the majority of the graphics that you need to do for your show, your live stream, whatever. Somewhere between Canva and Adobe Express, you're good. And then I think there's some other things out there. I don't know. Paul used something weird, Vector, something Vecteezy, Vector Speezy. I don't know what it's called. Paul will tell you in the chat. But Paul even tried a different one that's out there. So there are definitely some things. Yeah, exactly. Like Canva's the thing. But no, I use Canva a lot, Tyler. Here's how this started. I started using Canva because my buddy Alicio wanted to do some stuff with Canva and he didn't know where to start. And I was like, y'all got to stop being, I was literally joking saying, y'all got to stop being scared of stuff and just do it and stop worrying about the learning curve because I will make a Canva account right now. I don't know jack about Canva and I'll be fully versed at that sucker in 2 hours. And so it started out just trying to help Alicio. And then I signed up for Canva, immediately switched to Canva Pro and been using it like heavily for about the last 2 years solid. But I started using Canva as a way of telling somebody to stop being, I can't say the word. And then I ended up falling in love with it. However, at that time, I had come from Adobe Express, which wasn't as fully loaded as it is now. They were sleeping on Canva, so they were behind the 8 ball. And then they've, in the last 2 years, seeing how many people have run to this space, Adobe put money into Express, and they will probably leapfrog Canva just because of their, their lineage, their heritage. It is what it is, right? If you want running backs, you go to University of Alabama. End the story. Period. Point blank. They just crank out running backs. It's running back you. So same thing. Same thing. There you go. All right, coolio. See, I knew it was some kind of easy breezy, Vecteezy. I knew it was something like that. There you go. And I don't know why Paul had picked that, but Paul said it was good. So I trust Paul. Paul's Paul. All right. One last thing I want to talk to you guys about while we wait for you to throw some more questions in there. So the biggest problem that I guess everyone still faces when it comes to doing this stuff is still consistency, right? It's the consistency mainly becomes a problem because of expectations are set falsely by the creator themselves or by their contemporaries. Okay? So you can get thrown off because you've set expectations of something's going to happen faster than you think. And let's be honest, every single one of us wanted to happen faster than it really did. And it just doesn't do that. It never does that. It's a very rare situation where it pops off overnight. The same bozo conversation has been going on since the beginning of creativity, since Evolution of Dance. You guys remember Evolution of Dance? Let's see if I can find it even. All right, here we go. I'm gonna just pause that because I don't want to play it. So this video, this video has 310,772,030 views since April of 06. It is probably one of the first quote unquote viral videos ever. I want to call it the first, but I don't want nobody to be like, no, doc, the reason why it's not the first is because ancient Mesopotamian, but no, whatever. It's one of the first viral videos ever. Since that moment in time, anyway, since that moment in time, people have been trying to go viral. You cannot try to go viral. That's not the point. The point of a viral video is it was new, it was catchy, it was exciting, and it gained its own life, its own momentum, and it grew. The problem with trying to force go viral is that you never really hit the emotional targets of the people that are watching your video or listening to your video or trying to learn something, because you're trying to force it. It's like trying to make somebody love you. It doesn't work. Either they do or they don't, right? You can't make somebody love you. They either love you or they don't love you. Like, so trying to go viral is trying to force another person's emotions, and it doesn't work that way. The human body kind of sort of protects itself against, that level of traction, if you will. So what you want to do is create consistent, good content. And the whole reason why this rant exists is because I finally, through my research, has been able to put some numbers behind what we say, right? I'm a science person. I believe in facts. Facts is not emotions. Most of you guys are working off emotions, and that's kind of a crock of BS. I like to work off of facts. So here we go with the facts. It takes approximately 7 hours of constant contact, not in 7 hours in a row, but 7 hours collectively of contact with a person before they move you into the acquaintance zone. That is a fact. A fact. It's Dunbar study, and it takes 7 hours to get moved into the acquaintance zone. So, knowing that, if you are putting out a 5-minute video once a week and you don't do nothing else, how much time is it going to take you before you get them 7 hours to where the person who is watching or listening to you feels like they are part of your thing, right? They're part of your community forever. Okay, I don't have my button right now, but it's forever. If you put out your video and you do a live stream and you're doing your reels and you're doing your TikToks and you're doing your shorts, even though they're in 1-2 minute chunks, how fast does those 7 hours pop then, player? It pops a lot quicker. So according to the studies, it takes 7 hours for you to hit that know, like, and trust zone. Everybody loves to talk about the know, like, and trust. The marketing people, you got to make sure that your brand people know, like, and trust you. It takes 7 hours to pop that cherry. Those are actual numbers, not even made up. That was some science. Science, right? So if you are doing drive-by postings and posting when you feel like it because it's your channel, then your community never gets a chance to build. My community, the core members of my community, spend probably more than 7 hours a week with each other, and they don't even live in the same state. You understand? Like, process that through your head. People in my community spend close to that 7 hours a week with each other, and they're not in the same state through various forms of my streams or the company streams or Discord back channels, our study times, our class, things like that. Like, some of us crank in 3 hours on a Saturday, maybe 4 on a Saturday. I know Paul tired of me. I spend more than 7 hours a week with Paul and Keely, you know? So, yeah, I think you got to wrap your head around that 7 hours. And Awakening Mission, first of all, welcome to the party. Keely will probably give you the red carpet treatment because you popped in here with a maple leaf. It is a fantastic question, but as people in my circle of influence know, certain questions are questions because they need an answer, and certain questions are parlaying the inevitability. So the truth is, I don't think it matters. All right, let's put it this way. Let's put these 7 hours IRL, okay? So we're going to take us a crew. We're going to take Awakening Mission, and please tell us your real name or some other name you go by instead of me calling you Awakening Mission every time, because that's going to get old. So we're going to take Mission, we're going to take Klaus, we're going to take Paul, we're going to take Tyler, and we're going to take India because she's paying, and we're all going to go to the bar. And we're going to hang out today for like 4 hours, you know, and I know pretty much everybody in that conversation with the exception of Mission, right? So in that conversation, oh, it's Ant. What's up, Ant? I didn't know that was you. What's up? You're known. Okay, now the story ain't going to work because I know you. But let's just say we did it. We're all sitting around. We're talking story. We're asking, Klaus questions. And we're asking India questions, whatever. We spent about 4 hours together. And, India and I probably rode together. You know what I mean? Because we're like family at this point. We haven't met IRL yet. How's that? But India is totally like my little sister, right? If she came in this house right now, my actual sisters, they wouldn't know that she wasn't one of us because we're kind of cut from the same cloth. I'm cuter. But when we left, you'll be like, man, I really enjoyed talking to that Klaus guy, man. I hope we get to catch up again. The next time we go out to the bar, we spend some more time. And then Klaus is just not in a good mood, so he's not really talking. But Klaus was in the presence of us. So you head off, you go to your store, right? You're at the Aldi's or the Lidl or whatever store you're in, and you see Klaus over at the produce section. You'll be like, Klaus, wie geht Ama, right? And he'll be like, oh man, what's up? You guys start talking. And that acquaintance only came from acquaintance of acquaintance. And right now you have people in your inner circle that you met because you spend ancillary time with them because of somebody else, right? I know now that if Mike was to come to Dallas, Mike, our support guy, was to go to Dallas, Mike would probably hit up Rich. Because of me and therefore Katie and then therefore Mike, our support guy, Mike, spent probably them 7-8 hours with Rich last week. And now when he come to Dallas, Mike would be sure to hit up Rich. Hey, Rich, hey, what you doing, man? Let's go do so-and-so. Let's go grab a drink. And they'd be like, yeah, man, no problem. They got fried pickles? Bet. Done. Right? So the acquaintance you have now got dragged in because of somebody else. Right? You know what I'm saying? So there, I think that's a good question, Anthony. But yeah, I don't kind of think it matters. I think it was more important takeaway is that you have to be willing to give that consistent FaceTime for them to start to slowly let you in. Now, here's what's crazy. When I went to marketing school, when I'm in B school, we were on the 7 touch points, 7 to 8 touch points before sale. You know what the current answer is now? Is probably like 11 to 13, right? So even then, right, you gotta start to just develop that quote unquote, that, you know, KLT, the know, like, and trust. That's, if it takes you 7 hours, that means you got to create more content. So how do you do this? Easily. Podcast, number one, Stunner. Podcast, you can wax for a half an hour at a time. And then if somebody listens to 14 of your episodes, you got your 7 hours. Live streams, another one, hour at a time. You know, some of you, Anthony, I know you've been through more than 7 hours of my live streamings. Me and India and Diana get together, you can get 5 of them hours in a single stream. So that's how you build that thing. I honestly think that people like Aubrey and Paul, I'm trying to see who else, Jimmy, what's up, Jimmy? There's some cats you catch right away and you just know. I think Jimmy and I were like that. We just caught each other on different streams right away. And then we're like instantly friends because we're, again, cut from the same cloth. But then I know for a fact, just from stories, there's people that are like, man, I've been hiding in the chat for like months, and I'm finally going to speak on it because you're giving this value. You're giving what I needed to hear. You are yelling at my right amount of buttons or whatever. And then now that person becomes with you. I think Paul found us by accident. And sometimes Paul is like, I wish I never felt them. And other days, Paul is like, my people. That's how you know we family. Because some days you want to spend every minute with them, and other days you want to put them in the bottom of the river with a rock tied to their ankle. So that's how you know that is working. So yeah, I just wanted to leave you guys with that piece of thought. Because when you start struggling with consistency, realize if you put a lot of time in that gap, you got to start the date all over again as if it was the first meeting because you left them hanging too long. You know what I'm saying? So this is why you want to be out there. I think one of the blessings for me being the Ecamm face as well as my own channel is that many of my people are Ecamm users, so they get to see my 7 hours in a single week, you know, because I'm doing the Ecamm things and then my own thing twice a week plus class, you know. So my people, they get that time for me. You know what I'm saying? Let's go and check some things. Oh man, we up in here. Gary, thank you for the super chat, man. I really, really appreciate that. And yeah, you know, anytime somebody goes out of their way to throw you a super chat, even in Moose dollars, is dope. And I don't know, today, Anthony and Keely got all of the Moose people kicking with me today. Do content creators need a website? Yeah, but it could just be here, let me take you to one. Hold on. Let me see if I know the link when I press the app. I don't often do it. Let me see. Hold on. Does it work? No. Okay. linq.com/ If not, I gotta grab my phone. Hold on. I'll pull it off my phone. So I'll show you. It could be as simple as this. 1 second, Tyler. Sorry. Boom, boom, boom. So I got this thing, LINQ, right? It's just link. And then let me grab my little link. Oh, it's called Link App. That's why. Here you go. This is as simple as it needs to be, Mr. Tyler. Wait, that's not what I typed. Sorry. Copy to the clipboard. Oh, God. Every once in a while, the universal clipboard does not work, and it makes my face hurt. So linkapp.com/DOCROCK. Case the king. Oh, that's why it wasn't working. I must have some point in time turned off Bluetooth, and that sent me back. All right, now we know. Okay, so welcome to live streaming, people. Welcome to live streaming. This is what I was really trying to send you. There it is. So if you go to that page there, this is just a simple thing. I use this for trade shows and whatnot. This looks better on mobile, but it could be something as simple as this. So I got my photo, community manager at Ecamm. It says linkapp.docrock. You can copy the link by doing that. And there's a simple thing. I got a place for you to get in touch with me. Email, last name, first name. And then I have my product, which is Ecamm. And then what's my favorite podcast? You scroll down in here. My consistent favorite is No Stupid Questions. And then my favorite live streamers, Tom Book and Heather Ramirez at the moment. And then my favorite TV show, Manchester United football. Easy question, right? And you can update this, but it can be something as simple as that. You don't have to get crazy. But yes, you do need to have at least a little bit of something where people can find you. So I would, still my personal favorite, and I know you guys are going to say it's not the cheapest. First of all, I would probably stay away from any of the free websites because I just would, right? I think a flow page or a link page or something of that nature is fine, but personal favorite is still going to be Squarespace because I don't want you to stop to learn how to use WordPress. If you already know how, knock yourself out, go for it. But if you're starting from scratch and whatever, like a simple Wix, maybe I wouldn't use a free Wix though. I'd use a paid Wix, and then I would probably do something like generic, like, just a Squarespace, just to have your thing rolling. Anyway, that's me. You can even use your email collector to do a simple landing page. Constant Contact or MailChimp or ConvertKit is what I use just for that. So that's it. There you go. I did 29 live stream on music guitar, 1 hour piece, but I need to start making recording videos. This ain't taking me nowhere. Live streams is a thing, man. Like it depends on what you're doing and how you're doing it. Like it's really, really hard to express that it does sort of ebb and flow. But yeah, even I think if I wasn't as busy as I am right now, I'd probably want to do more standard issue stuff too. Thank you, Mr. Ant, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you for that. That is rock solid. Also, thank you, Grand. Grand sent one in too. Where it went? There it is. Dun, 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 dun. Coming in from the UK. Thank you, Grand. I appreciate it. And then, let's see. Yep. Just getting started. That's the secret. Just getting started. I got a question. Dragon, have you done like teaching on your streams, right? Everybody go to Costco and okay, not really Costco. Go get your guitar out and let's do the 5 basic chords of R&B. Let's do the 3 basic chords of reggae. Let's do the here's the power chords. Explain some of the chords and like why you don't need to know the more complicated ones. Like I'm impressed with knowing these 3 chords. Here's 100 songs you can play with these 3 chords. Like those videos amuse the hell out of me. I don't play nothing. I play nothing. I play FIFA on Xbox. I'll smoke you. But I can't play instrument the first. But I watch those streams in detail. The side note about Squarespace, their Acuity scheduler integrates with IG so you can have them linked to your profile. Boom. Artist presented. Yeah, I would go deeper into the teaching stuff. People, you're an accomplished musician and have played with lots and lots of people, and you look like Max Headroom. So I would go into the teaching stuff. And here's why. I think edutainment is the money shot for the next 3 to 4 years because check the statistics. Don't listen to Doc. check the statistics. Go look up on your Google box how many people are trying to switch careers right now. Look up how many people are looking for new hobbies right now. Look up how many people are looking for a creative outlet right now. Just go investigate those 3 action points. And trust me, if you ain't teaching, you're reaching. You should be teaching something, whether it's Discord for creators, whether it's how to make the dope homestead living with yourself, a couple eagles and 2 dogs, whatever. Teaching is reaching. Not teaching, not happening, fam. I'm just telling you right now, edutainment is the money shot. You can teach anything. You could teach how to produce a proper Swedish fika. Wait. Yeah. Is fika Swedish or Finnish? I forget. Never mind. Anyway. Let's see. Oh, Hannity sliding in the back door. Let's see. Say it again for the people in the back. Yes, edutainment is that new. I play iTunes, Spotify, and a little C harmonica electric guitar. Thanks, Gary. That's funny. Okay, there's Hans. What's up, Hannity? Hope as well. Trying to outsource an editor, but it's taking a long time to upload the footage to the drive. WeTransfer, Dropbox, blah, 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 blah. Yes, Frame.io. Frame.io is the best in the business. That's what it is. Frame in the business. Frame is the best in the business. Frame.io. Drop all of the above work fine, but they do tend to have slower upload speeds, just because that's how they do that on purpose. They mitigate their servers like that just to keep them from crashing. So the downloads needs to happen faster. So most of them do meter their uploads to smaller meters. So yeah, there's that. There you go, Anthony. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Appreciate it. Man, all of my Canadians are showing out today. Yes, Dina said the same thing I said. Is that what your community thinks? Yes. Voir dire the community. Is that the right one, Keels? Just do a query of your community and see what they think. They will tell you. It's funny, but it is literally the case for the case. All right, I want to set you guys on to something, and then I will catch you guys on Saturday. But let's set up. Actually, I think I'm traveling Saturday. I got to double check my itinerary real quick, because that'd be really messed up to have y'all sitting around looking for me on Saturday and I'm at the airport. Let's do this real quick. You pain in the butt, American Airlines, you guys suck. Never mind. I can't say that on this live stream. Okay, I'm flying on the 11th. Okay, you guys are good. I'll see you Saturday. Before you go, if you can, do yourself a favor and start thinking about how you're addressing that 7 hours of know, like, and trust, that acquaintance thing, right? If you want to dig further into the research, look up the Dunbar numbers and you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. Professor Dunbar did this thing, and it shows your circles of influence as they, when you throw the pebble and it concentric. Yes, it shows you the concentric circle of influence as they start to come out from your massive center, right? So let me give you a quick Wikipedia image pull of the Dunbar numbers, and I'll throw them up there so you guys can kind of see what we're speaking on. And let's put them up in this corner right here. So you're coming out of the box in the beginning with your first set of people in your Dunbar numbers, right? And so that first set is kind of like your really, really tight group, your friends, your family, your super clique, if you will, right? And then you go into your sympathy group, right? That's the next amount of people. Those are people that probably would really care if something happened to you, right? And then you go into your close network, right? And then after your close network, you get into your personal network. That's that 150. And then you get into those acquaintances. That's that 500. And then the last 1,500 are your recognizable people, right? Those are the people that will see you in the grocery store and know exactly who you is. So you got kin, super family, clan, tribe, and so forth, so on, etc. That is the sort of the breakdown. It gets deeper into various things, but the one that matters, that 150 meaningful relationship people, I have that in my community probably 3 times over. Those are people who, like, I worry about them, they worry about me. We talk to each other at least once a week, so forth, so on, and etc. But people say that you can only remember that 1,500, like name, face recognition. That's what they mean, recognizable. My memory works better than that, and my dealings with people is stronger than that. But that's just something that I worked on because of probably Dale Carnegie school, classes and lessons. I spend a lot of time making sure I do know these type of things. So it's kind of up to you, but just if you want to do some research and start to further think about it, you can look into the Dunbar numbers to get a better understanding of this cognitive limit that your brain is supposed to be able to handle as far as people in your circle, and then know why not all of us going to get that type of level, right? I just saw Jimmy Kimmel Live walking around the streets of LA asking people the names of prominent YouTubers, and half of them couldn't even come up with Mr. Beast. Don't even know who Mr. Beast is. You talk to YouTubers, we're all like, oh, he has 2 channels with 50 million apiece. It's just not a thing. So don't worry about that, people. Do a little time thinking of how you're going to get in your 7 hours. And if you need one of those hours to be an hour with me, Paul will send you a link, and then you can book a time slot, and then we can meet, and I can walk you through your journey on a one-to-one basis, because that's just something that we do. But anyway, wrapping this joint up, I will see you guys Saturday, and thank you guys for coming through. I don't think we have any more final questions, so I will close out with that thing. And that same note, the door just opened, so that means that probably my sister or brother-in-law is home, because I can hear the alarm making noises. Anyway, I'm making sure I don't have to get a knife and shoot anyone. I'm looking to see who the criminal is. It's my brother-in-law. Like I said, it's the criminal. What's up, Tones? Anyway, gang, I'll see you guys on Saturday. Thank you guys for coming through. Appreciate all of the love and support. And then, let's get that squared away. We'll see you Saturday, just in time for class in Silverhead Fitness. Aloha. Thank you for sliding in late. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Aloha.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine.